upon a time, in a land far, far away named Chicago, there lived a prince and a princess. Now, this princess had a fairly good life, so she thought. She enjoyed her career as a therapist. She had a lovely home with a picket fence and 2 dogs and 2 kids and a prince, of course. Until one day, the prince and the princess decided to move to a very strange and foreign land, a foreign land named Los Angeles. Now, the people looked different, they acted different, so much so that the prince and the princess decided to do what all the other people in the land did, and that was get a divorce. And lo and behold, there this princess was, all alone in her new castle, not knowing what to do with her new life. Distraught, she hid under her covers, and for 40 days and 40 nights, she wept, she slept, until day 40, she woke up. And she decided to go to a place that she dare not go for a very long time, and that was her closet. And as she slowly crept towards the big doors, and she pulled them open, and she looked into the dark abyss, only to find, cobwebs draped over her dismal, oversized black clothes. And when she lifted her shoe boxes, they were filled with flip-flops. And when she opened up her drawers, they were filled with nursing bras and granny panties. Oh God, what was this princess going to do? There was no way she could go out in the world looking and feeling like this. And just as she was about to go back to bed and hide once again, a light shone through the window, and it illuminated a wand she once used before she knew the prince. And so she picked it up and she dusted it off and she waved it in front of the closet, and suddenly colors of the rainbow started popping up, blues and pinks and purples and reds. And when she lifted her shoe boxes, do you know those shoes began to grow stems? And when she opened up her clothes, they slowly began to shrink. And when she opened up her drawers, they were now filled with sexy lingerie. And now this princess was ready to go out into the world. And so she slipped on her new costume and she opened up the door into a whole new world of opportunities, including new suitors. And the moral of this story is the magic really wasn't in the wand itself. It was within her all along. She just needed to see it to believe it. The end. Yeah, well, hopefully by now you figured out I was the so-called princess. That was me. Once a very confident young woman, blindsided and knocked down by divorce. And I remember looking in the mirror, and this frumpy mom with oversized black clothes, and it was as if all the pieces of the mirror just shattered to the ground in an instant, and I really didn't know how I was going to pick up the pieces again and feel whole. Now here's the kicker. As a trained therapist, I believed that you had to work from the inside out to raise your self-esteem, to attract love. I no longer believe that. Because what happened to me and what I help so many others with altered the way that I see you can accelerate your confidence and ultimately attract love. Now, what I didn't share with you in this little fairy tale of mine was the pivotal moment of what I referred to as my magic wand. So horrified with what I saw, I decided to do something pretty untraditional. I did the work, I went to therapy, I had a great support system, and yet still I could not get out of my own way. So I went shopping, retail therapy. And so I'm in the store, right, and I'm gathering all the same, black clothes again. I think I'm up-leveling myself. No, I'm doing the same thing. And this personal shopper, she comes up to me. I now refer her as my fairy godmother. She says, "Ma'am, I really think you should try this on." And she holds up a dress that was red, and it looked like 3 sizes too small. I said, "That's really sweet of you, but that's really not my size, and that's really red." She said, "Honey, that is your size, that is your color. Try it on." It's like she hit me over the head with that magic wand. And when I came to, I'm like, you know what? She's right. I need to see myself differently. And so I slipped it on, and I twirled around like Cinderella, and bam. There I was, that princess you heard in the fairy tale. And it was as if all the pieces of the mirror and the ground came together in an instant, and I saw myself whole. And that's when you attract love, right? When you feel whole. I realized then that this was my red dress moment. And that I understood that confidence isn't just an inside job, that there is a symbiotic relationship between the outer and the inner self when it comes to building confidence. Moreover, I define confidence as experience. I don't believe that you're not confident. It's just that maybe there's an area in your life where you haven't had positive exposure or experience around. So how do you get it? You have to see something different. You have to move into action in order to feel differently. You have to put things into practice over and over and over and over again until it becomes you. And that's when you feel whole, and that's when you attract love. So that's when I changed the entire paradigm in which I work. I now believe that you can work from the outside in to accelerate confidence in a very fast way, create charisma, and that attracts love. Because at the end of the day, hear me out, it's not changing who you are. It's about marketing yourself so somebody gets to know who you are. The truth is, people love people who love themselves. But if you're not seen, love may pass you by. So that's how I changed everything. And after working with so many men and women all over the world with different beliefs and cultures and backgrounds, what I've come to learn is that how we shift externally impacts how we feel inside, how we see ourselves, and how others perceive us. I believe that confidence and charisma are at the core of achieving our desires through experience and action. And I do this with my formula that I call the charisma quotient. It's building your confidence, making connections, and finding love in 3 different areas. It's building your style, your emotional, and your social IQ. Now, I want to go over how I use this with a lot of the people that I work with and how that sparks attraction that leads to love and how you can incorporate it in your everyday life. So it starts, of course, with your style intelligence, I call it. It's how we market ourselves. It's your wardrobe, your body language, your first impressions, and how we put those signals out to the world. What we see is what we believe. It only takes 7 seconds now, y'all, to make a first impression. That's all we got. And people are making judgments and assumptions based on 2 things: the clothes that you wear and the attitude that you have. So I love helping people with first impressions by using the 3C formula. The cut of your clothes that make you feel amazing, that builds your confidence, that impacts the signals that you send out to the world. Color, because then you're seen. In fact, studies have shown that when you wear red, you're seen as more attractive. I'm just saying. And the 3rd C is confident clothing, clothing that makes you feel amazing and lifts your mood. Now, once you get that dialed in, you're feeling good about yourself, it's working on your EQ, emotional intelligence. When connecting with someone, it's not about the facts that you share when you're first meeting someone, but it's the feelings that get solicited in that interaction. I believe that authenticity and vulnerability are so important in building those first connections, an emotional connection. It can create powerful chemistry between 2 people and reciprocal interactions. Now, a lot of people confuse authenticity with TMI when they're first meeting someone, too much information. Now, you're not going to go up to someone and say, let me tell you about my childhood and the relationship with my mother. No, you're not going to say that in the first impression, but it's sharing your desires, your passions, with the feeling words you choose. And one of the most powerful tools in doing that is through storytelling. Now, for instance, most of you are going to leave here and remember my talk through the story I told and the emotions that got solicited from it, more than probably any of the facts that I shared. So next time you're on a date, instead of regurgitating a line that you heard, try sharing a story about something that was exciting to you. Then we work on your social IQ. So do you flirt? When you are building a social connection, I believe that flirtation and magnetism that just draws people to you creates excitement. You know what, this is interesting. Looking at the definition of flirting, it's to behave as though you are attracted to someone without the serious intention of an outcome. Yet so many people don't flirt because they're worried about what's next. I hear it all the time. I'm not attracted to her. I don't want to give him the wrong impression. I don't want to be rejected. But flirtation's not supposed to be about that. It's a playfulness. It's an energy that, again, draws people to you, and that increases your social confidence. So I want to leave you with one question. Are you marketing yourself to attract what you want? By doing so, not only is it a legitimate gateway into lasting connections and confidence, but it can accelerate a relationship. So, next time you're on a date, you're in a coffee shop, you're swiping right on someone you like, try raising your style, emotional, and social IQ by wearing something red. Tell a story about something that was exciting to you. Flash a flirtatious smile. You too could be that princess who's wearing red, riding off into the sunset with her prince. You just need to see it to believe it. The end.